These colours look lovely in this lighting, I will say.
We do look like Club Biscuit. As soon as it came to mind, I just can't not see it.
A little bit. Are we there?
This is...
I think we're there. You can
Well,
dim
it's more my face is just like very, very bright.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put it here. So it's pointing.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Much to discuss. So much to talk about. Aaron and I, as you can see, obviously just got back from...
I literally just got back.
McDonald's. But that's the first joke of the live stream. How are we all doing? Good evening. Am I pausing Moulin Rouge to watch this? Hopefully the movie and not the show, because that's not how theatre works. You can't say, hold on, Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, nope.
I'm going to let you finish. Hold on, use my Choir of Man coaster. I'll use the Avenue Q coaster. Look at this. Kate Monster on a coaster. Isn't that special? Thank you. Feeling snazzy. I've joined the trend of like the oversized. Do you know I saw someone in what I thought was this exact outfit? I saw someone like exactly wearing the exact same thing, and I'm, other people were on the marmalade train, which is what I'm channeling here. And every suit Aaron owns is green.
But best musical winner.
Best musical revival winner. Yeah, Into the Woods. Aaron is the Woods. Oh, here we go. This is what do the kids call this?
Well, they don't anymore. That was very old.
You're right, the chips are cold.
Yeah. And it's not what the kids were calling it.
What were the kids calling it?
A mukbang.
Actually,
But that was not the kids.
Oh.
That was your generation of YouTuber. But you had older vibes from that time.
It's not my generation, but my generation is now. People try to put us down. Anyway, Aaron and I just got back from the Oliviers, just got home, immediately ran to the internet to chat about it with you all. Who's got questions? Who's got vibes? Who's got feelings?
I will probably leave this screen to eat my food.
Who's got emotions that need to be discussed?
I'll be back in a second. I realized I cannot eat this on camera.
No, you have a burger to demolish. I was pretty happy with it all. I will say, yeah, deserved win for Rachel Zegler. Deserved wins all around, to be honest. I thought it was such a great year, such a great selection of nominees. And I've said this before, I say this often, but hard to be mad at any of them. There were no announcements, maybe one, but certainly no acting announcements that disappointed me. Was I surprised about Into the Woods? No, I knew they'd win Revival because they got so many more nominations than Evita. And I knew they were transferring, and I knew they were going to announce transferring if they won. So, yay that announcement happened. Jack Holden was one of the most fun surprises of the night. What do we have here? Oh, people are implying their thoughts. Yes, Jack Holden won for his incredible performance in Kenrex. It was a good year for certainly gargantuan leading performances. The amount that Jack Holden does in that play, the amount that Rosamund Pike does in Inter Alia, formidable and undefeatable. Love Into the Woods, but Evita should have won Best Lighting. So we saw an interesting thing happen creatively, where video design was nominated twice. One video designer was nominated alongside lighting for Into the Woods. One video designer was nominated alongside set design for Paddington. And based on the video design they both did, that made sense. They both won. So both set design and lighting won. The person who was a video designer won alongside the other creative in that category, which I think, as much as anything else, is an indication that we need a separate video design category. Otherwise, it sways lighting and set and whatever else it's included within. But then there's a lot of overhaul that the Oliviers need, because musical contribution, what's going on? Sean Hayes played the piano very well, but what's going on? For the first time in 15, 16 years, that category was won by a play for the first time ever. And not even like the play I would have given it to. Did anyone's speech make me emotional? James Hamid and Artie Shah. I sobbed. And I've known James for a really long time. James is one of the first people I ever interviewed. I put a camera in front of his face. I put a phone in front of his face. I didn't even have a camera at a rehearsal for Be More Chill in like 2019. And now he's Paddington Bear. I sobbed and sobbed. Victoria's speech was beautiful. Julie Hesntal's speech was beautiful. James Graham's speech for Punch was beautiful. Lovely. Beautiful speeches. Did I have a favorite performance? I liked Harold Fry a lot. I liked Georgina. That was good vibes, doing independently owned. And I liked Phantom. I thought Phantom did a better job than Wicked as far as the anniversary celebrations of it all go. I thought Phantom did a better job than Wicked, because we thought Wicked for sure would bring back some past witches.
And I realised they couldn't.
Because they're performing on tour.
Yeah, because my parents were literally seeing 3 of them tonight.
Yeah.
So they were somewhere else in the country.
Yeah. I was surprised Kate Fleetwood didn't get in for supporting actress, but I was thrilled for Victoria. And she deserves it after the number of performances that Victoria has deserved it for.
And I think a big thing about tonight was a big celebration of people that have like stuck with shows and been with shows through the whole process. Like when you think about the Paddington performers and how they mentioned, like they've been in the workshops for these shows for 5 years, 4 to 5 years. That's a long time to be working and building a show. And that feels really special that like tonight kind of was like that. Like we recognize just how much work you put in to create this show.
Yeah.
As like cast members.
My other speech takeaway, I'll post it in Olivier's video tomorrow. It's like partial vlog, partial chat. Yeah, send all your questions in the comments. My other takeaway from the speeches, there was a lot of immigrant advocacy, which we love, and a lot of acknowledgements of being working parents. Awful lot of that. Awful lot of thanking of partners for taking on childcare. Yeah, the coverage. I've heard all about the coverage and the supporting actors in a musical getting cut from the broadcast, which sucks. It's still a very imperfect system as far as the televising goes.
This also was their first year.
It was their first year.
And it was prime time, and I think this is the issue.
Earlier than normal.
Like, the advantage for years before is that because they live streamed to America, it meant that everybody could watch the whole thing via VPN. But I think the issue was then not enough people were watching the ITV coverage. And like we want it to be on primetime television like the Tonys are.
Right.
The BBC this year had done it and made it primetime, which is like incredible that were like, yes, we're going to give the 7 p.m. slot. And I think a show like Paddington made that possible, and all the names and stuff from Rachel and everybody, like that is a factor. But the fact that like now we could see like they've now done a year, look at the numbers and like how well did it do, and that's what we're going to hope that enough people have tuned in. But the BBC will be like, sure, we're going to do it again next year.
No.
I mean, hopefully they'll have learned from a lot of the things this year of what went wrong, or like how did that coverage work? What did people say? So it's important to share what you liked and you didn't like. So hopefully next year it's even slicker and they'll figure out a better way to... Because some of the issue with some of the cuts, especially with the musical supporting actors, is they were right at the end of the night. And I think that's like... The show started at like around 5. It was live on TV at 7. the award ceremony didn't finish till 8, so it was airing whilst they were still editing, and I think that's the issue. Like the program was already
They edit as they go. Yeah, they've already committed to however
the
much
time. They've got to end at that time, and I think that's the biggest issue. So they're trying to clip as quick as they can those final speeches to make sure they get in the program. But the issue is they've got a time window, so it's going to get cut.
Yeah,
and I think they've got to decide, can they do a half an hour extra longer program to fit more people in, but then enough people have to watch the BBC Olivier's to make that happen. So we'll see. But I kind of get why that's happened.
you could definitely watch the pro shot recording of Cruise. It's not a spoiler for Ken Rex. Gives you a sense of
different.
His storytelling techniques.
Yeah.
And who Jack is. I think it'll just get you more excited to see.
Yeah, but it'll get you more excited because the stories are nothing I like at all.
If Paddington runs and runs and runs, do you foresee them updating Paddington himself as the technology evolves, becomes cheaper / smaller? I don't know. I don't imagine so. I think it works pretty timelessly and pretty well. If we look at like character technology in the theme park space, stuff only updates very slightly over, because we've seen Disney for decades. We've seen what it looks like when something exists for 30 years. They've made subtle updates to things.
We also think like these updates, like most of these performers have all worked with Star Wars and Marvel and stuff. So whatever it kind of is the situation now, that is the highest tech.
Yeah.
And from them, like maybe, but I don't think so. I think efficiency, maybe they'll find ways to evolve with it, just in a general like operating and sustainability and stuff, like they've done with the other costuming. But
yeah, I would like for an Avita transfer to happen. There was so much buzz, there was so much excitement. I would like for New York to get that as well. It felt like Sunset was great here, but it became even more exciting when it also got to go to New York. I would like Rachel Zegler to get to do a musical on Broadway. It's crazy that hasn't happened.
I think that's the thing I care about most.
This jacket is specifically inspired by Marmalade. I'm wearing Marmalade, yes.
I think everybody just has to accept, though, that the balcony will not happen on Broadway.
Yeah, they're now saying, as of recent press interviews.
Which makes sense. It's not safe. And I think anybody there, like, you like, that's just a fact.
Highlight in the room.
Oh, that's a good... The comment about, yeah, with the editing, the issue is the BBC cannot air live because the BBC have words that cannot be said. So
they can.
No, but what I mean is they wouldn't be able to do it live. They'd have to always have a delay because there's like they would be quick editing and be told you cannot have these words in aired and stuff because they have strict rules with the BBC of what can be aired.
But the BBC have aired live before.
A lot of the time delayed still.
I don't know if it's on a slight delay.
Yeah,
but it's
because there's just like when people are very excited and stuff, words can come out that maybe
it doesn't need 2 hours.
No, but also like when we were live in the room, like Nick and people needed retakes. And they can't do retakes if it's fully live, and they need retakes. And that's happened every single time we've been there when there's been hosts, is they need retake time.
I thought Nick Mohammed did a pretty great job. I enjoyed Nick Mohammed. And it's sort of an indication when the host also doesn't need to do an opening number, which this year I think as much as anything else was because we had 2 big anniversaries. Phantom's in a 40th year, Wicked is in a 20th year. So they both had to have a moment. In addition to, there was another... It was 10th anniversary of something. Matilda. Oh, people thought Matilda, people thought High School Musical might have a thing. So already there was competition for the anniversary slot. So Nick Mohammed didn't need to perform an opening number, which means he's just there to facilitate and be charming, which he was. He had good jokes. He kept it moving. We've had pairs of people before. I thought he did fine. And I thought it went to show how little the host needs to do. It was very less is more approach to hosting. Move it along. Here's the next person. Little joke here. It didn't make it about him. But he was He was great. He was sort of self-sacrificing. His introductory line was, "How did I get this gig?" I thought he did a great job. I thought it was very endearing. Is Ragtime being filmed? I could see it being filmed for like a great performances, but don't know.
I can see that. It has a limit of how long it can be there.
Filming is so expensive.
In New York.
Yeah.
It is.
Everyone's talking about a Paddington Broadway transfer. Waiting to hear. Didn't get announced today on the back of the awards. Maybe they'll announce it before the Tonys.
Most things will be announced tomorrow when all the press are in. Because there's like a lot of press on that they would have had to have been told in advance.
Yeah. Oh, they showed some of the retakes in the broadcast. Wow. Some of them, I do a lot of editing in my time, and so some of them, he did a retake on himself so fast, I was like, that's not a clean cut. He's like, let me try that again. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, gotta pause and go. I was thrilled for O'Mary. I was surprised. As surprised as I was for Titanic, I think, but delighted. That's becoming a great category for American shows that people said wouldn't work in London, but are. So yay for the entire O'Mary team. And Cola Scola, who was here, had no idea that Cola Scola was here. Jack Holden, good call to Jack Holden or good call to the producers for flying Jack Holden over in the middle of tech for Kenrix. Is he already back on a plane? Or tomorrow? Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, him and Katie. The producer.
But yeah. Fave Paddington song. That's a great question. I like the Geographer's Guild because I'm weird. I like Marmalade. It's catchy.
Rhythm of London is just... Rhythm of London is just such a great production number song.
Yeah.
And I love all the nods and what it like how well it represents London in a song. And I feel like those are always amazing.
What are your thoughts on the Into the Woods transfer being announced?
I'm glad they announced it when they did. But they did it before they performed. So it was like, just so you know, this is coming to the West End. And then they performed, which I think in your brain is good to be like, oh, that's going to be going on. And they didn't rely on it. They didn't rely on waiting to find out if they got the musical revival or not. And that just added to it. It seemed very cleverly paced.
I don't know which cast it's going to be who do the transfer. Whether anyone comes back.
Or the new
or it's the new.
Stay.
I guess it might make the most sense for it to be new people, or it could be a third different collection of people. I would say if you're desperate to see any current cast members before they leave, it's probably a good idea to try to. If you're desperate to see Mel and Rachel and everyone, don't necessarily assume they're going to do North Coward, because I don't know.
But it's not given. I mean, we know that Mel's going into Cats and then Cats going on tour, so we don't.
I don't know if Joe Foster is putting some. I mean, just inherently, I think Joe Foster is bringing some of their own energy in terms of identity to the song, but Jack is not played as a non-binary or trans character.
No, not in there. It's only he, him pronouns are used in the as is in the script. They've not changed them. Yeah.
There's maybe some sense in the costuming of like slight gender non-conformity.
They bring it up more just when they're talking about Milky White's pronouns. Like that's probably the most like discussion about gender.
I mean, that's always there.
Yeah, but it felt even more heightened in that scene when I've seen it.
Yeah. I was at the Olivier's. Why else do you think this is not how I normally dress to eat McDonald's?
No, but you do like to dress up in here.
The Olivier's finished at 8 p.m. ish, just before. If you've watched them on TV, that was a couple hours delayed.
Yeah.
So if you're like, how are you already here? That's how we're already here. Do you wish we got an ensemble performance from Vita? Yeah, because then we'd have got a standing ovation. There was no performance standing ovation moment.
Other than Elaine Page walking on stage.
But that's not a performance.
That was a performance.
Well, walking on stage.
Dame Elaine Page graces the stage. That is a performance.
I'm a dame girl walking.
She walked up those steps and everybody stood.
I do wish we got an ensemble performance from Evita, but if you recall, the Evita set was steps, and the blocking was on steps. And so not only has it been closed, the cast in different places, they'd have had to get the cast back together. Some people have dated and then stopped dating.
It costs a lot to re-rehearse, which is why often sometimes closed shows don't perform. Like Here We Are didn't perform.
But not just that. What we're Here We Are going to do? Christ.
Who knows?
I shan't speak. Evita would have had to have restaged a number in order to perform it with the full ensemble. So it made sense to do this.
And like that's like how they had to restage Starlight to do it in that space. And it's tricky because some shows can work at doing that. Some shows, you got to remember that like that's them trying to sell the show.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I was surprised that Bryan Cranston didn't win, but I was happy for Jack. And as I said before, possibly before you joined, it was a big year for people giving marathon solo performances. Rosamund Pike is not a solo. It's not a solo show, but essentially it's a gargantuan. It's a marathon of a performance. And so the leading play performances this year went to theatrical marathon runners, basically. These are good. Cheesy garlic bread dippers, everybody. But the sauce makes it the sort of the rich tomato marinara kind of a sauce.
Do you know that that's just the Monica ones rebranded?
I know.
Basically.
It's not.
Was it a big difference between the pizza ones and that?
That was a mozzarella dipper. And this is cheesy garlic bread.
Is it not just mozzarella cheese inside?
No, it's garlic. There's a garlic component.
Was there a garlic component before?
No, that's the difference. It's subtle. It's very similar. I'll grant you it's very similar. It's still just battered, cheesy stuff.
I would find it hilarious if actually it just was the same and they've just put the word there to make you think it's different.
It's very similar. There's a strong garlic element.
Okay.
The industry recognition winners were there, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, 2 of them were. Just 2 of them. Wait.
2 of them were shown. I think all 3 were there.
There's 5.
Oh.
There's normally, I think there's 5.
I do think they should have a Wigs Hair and Makeup Award. There are multiple categories vying for addition to the Oliviers. And the trouble is they've been vying for a really long time. And I was
and video design.
Multiple. I was a co-signatory of an open letter about musical theatre composers getting specifically recognized for best score years ago, signed by some very big people.
Yeah.
And the response of the Oliviers was, I think I can share this correctly, they responded publicly. Their response was to say, we're considering too many applications. And so they're kind of using everyone's simultaneous requests to push them all away. If there were like coordinated campaigns every year to say, we need to add this, and then we need to add this, it might actually be more successful, which I think is a metaphor for human rights advocacy.
It's
anyway.
also this like what we're talking about with the broadcasting is if you add more awards, are they all going to be shown on they're not going to all be shown in their broadcast because they can't even put all of those in. Yeah. And this year they didn't do 2 of the awards on stage this year. They did them before the ceremony to speed it up. And still you've got this issue where some like they're not going to be equally weighted in the broadcast. So it's quite tricky. Yeah.
I was eating a long fry and it briefly made me look like a walrus. I wasn't sure if anyone noticed.
Do you not have to eat 2 to be a walrus?
No, it was really long.
Oh, okay.
It's a long fry.
That's the issue. Is like there's a lot of awards that should really be there, but the issue is they don't know.
I forgot about this joke I made at the press launch. Sorry, we have really different energies right now because you're giving like serious journalism over here. No, do you remember at the press launch when I did this? This is, which performance does this represent from the evening? Anybody? Performance from the Oliviers this evening.
See, I know what you're doing, but I do not remember this from a press launch.
I made the joke. Maybe you weren't there. I made the joke when we were at the thing. This is Keep On Walking, Mr. Fries.
No, I don't. You didn't show me that. I don't.
This is Keep On Walking, Mr. Fries. Harold Fries.
I don't think so, at least.
Alan Williams won for Sunset, so I think he's fine.
It's also not to say that it hurts people, but I do think sometimes if you've won recently, it's hard. It can sometimes hurt you the next year.
That's a very British thing of being like...
No, but this is what I mean. If we're talking about the Olivier...
You can't have the class cup 2 weeks in a row. I agree. But
it is an Olivier thing. The Tonys, not like that at all. Like, we can see how many, like, back-to-back Cara Young and, like, Cara Young will, like, win. Big, deservedly, she will win. But it doesn't hurt her if she won the year before. Whereas with the Oliviers, sometimes it can be like, well, this person won last year, so they're doing well. So let's give it to this. So like the voters can feel like I can vote for this person now because like they haven't had one before. Like it's a career win for them. Those other people will be fine. Like I think there's a lot more. There's different reasons why people vote over here. I think for shows compared to how maybe the Tony voting works, where there's like so many regional touring venues that are also part of the Tony voters categories and everything.
It was a shame that we got supporting actors in a play in the broadcast and not in a musical. It wasn't, to my mind, it wasn't deliberate. It's a component of it being where it was in the broadcast. By the time they were getting to the end of the broadcast, they were running out of time. All the musical awards for acting were all at the end.
And also, I think part of it's because the plays don't have to perform. The musicals do. So they have to get out of costume so they could accept an award in their glam. Whereas the plays are like, none of the actors are having to get dressed in costume.
I guess Tom Eden. How many actors won and performed in costume? Artie Shah and Tom Eden. Is that it?
Yeah, but I think
in the number.
But the thing is, they can't. All the nominees have to be out there because they're all going to be filmed on camera.
Yeah,
because they all get shown. So it's not even just who's going to be on stage to win. It's also all the nominees. All the nominees need to be sat in that because nobody knows who's won. So if you treat somebody differently, then it already gives away that person's won.
Aussie here, just catching up as we wake up. Was anything an upset? I would definitely say there were 3. The 2 Kenricks wins, and good for them. Upset does not. I don't want upset to sound like they shouldn't have won. No one saw it coming. But it was certainly an underdog. So that was a very satisfying upset. Was Jack Holden winning for Best Leading Actor, Kenricks winning for Sound, and then good luck Oscar, good night Oscar, good job Oscar,
good night Oscar,
good day Oscar, winning for Best Musical Contribution, Best Good Job.
That category is so
making music happen on stage. Did Hannah Lowther get her Olivier invite? I don't know. Didn't see her. She's currently on antibiotics, dealing with tonsillitis. So she's got bigger things to think about. Said from someone who has never had an Olivier Awards invite ever, who has never been on the green carpet.
We have paid every year.
Hannah has hosted things on the carpet. She's done things on the carpet. So she's fine. Girlie's doing fine. Thrilled for Hannah. But she's got bigger things to worry about. I assume the Hadestown Pro Shot is coming to the UK. I hope so. Fave performance. I did like Harold Fry. I'm shocked.
I loved Jenna Boyd having such a lovely moment. That was very nice.
Yeah, and I didn't think they would do that number. I don't know what I thought they would. Oh, I wanted them to.
I think because it's just like such a... Well, because I don't think the end song works. So I was thinking about this, the one with Noah, and I was like, it's going to be Harold Fry. And it makes sense because it's just the title song, basically.
Here's one by the road. I don't know that either Harold Fry or Shucked are coming back anytime soon, sadly.
It kind of slightly felt like it was... I mean, I could see Harold Fry touring.
I would like for
I
Harold
thought this
Fry
for
to
a while.
tour.
I could see it touring.
It's hard when something doesn't really catch on with the box office the first time around. We've really got to, if you want these shows, and I know no one can buy all the tickets themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But if we want these shows, if we want to prove that there is an audience for these shows, then the audience has to show up the first time. And I know people live around the UK, so they can't get to London. They're hoping that things go on tour. I know it's hard, but I don't think Shucked sold as well as
the
it
thing is, though, we
would have needed to.
We know more than people know.
Sure.
We know that. So Shucked, as we're aware, as far as we know, Shucked probably had a chance of having a future life and it didn't happen. And that's because the Regent's Park run didn't sell maybe as well as they'd hoped it would, or the buzz wasn't as big as they hoped it would. So it did really good in its run, and the word of mouth was great, and it was landed really well with everybody. But I guess sometimes with those runs, it's a case of if it doesn't hit the zeitgeist where everybody's like, when's it coming back? And it's like the moment, plans for it can fall apart, and then they lose the theatre space, and then they lose the cast because the cast are in other shows, and it all kind of goes. Then that momentum goes. But I mean, this is the perfect moment. Is saying to people that are really engaged with it, like after tonight's performance that Georgina did, and after this moment of Shucked being in the moment again, this is the moment for people to rally around Shucked.
Mm-hmm.
If you want Shucked to come back, this is the moment to make it clear and very loud, and tell people to make it loud online, and share the clip of Georgina everywhere. Because if that clip does really well and everybody's talking about Georgina and Shucked and that cast and why they want it back, producers take notice of that, and people in the industry take notice of that, and people start talking about Shucked again. That's genuine fact. That has happened with many shows before. I mean, look at Be More Chill, look at Thingy.
As far as we know, it wasn't Into the Woods taking Shucked's
No.
transfer space.
No.
This was all way back from what we heard.
Yeah.
Harold Fry, I think it's tricky in terms of just the year it's arrived in the West End versus Paddington. Anything else alongside Paddington that was going for like very British, charming. And it's a very different kind of a story, and it's a very different kind of an audience. But it's a tricky kind of an audience. We've also seen, I think, since the pandemic, shows that cater to an older demographic struggle in London but succeed on tour.
Yeah.
Look at My Fair Lady.
Harold Fry did incredibly well at Judges.
It sold out. That's what someone was saying.
Yeah,
sold out
massive.
Fully, couldn't get a return ticket. Smaller space, Minerva space, but
I could see that happening.
Harder to get that same. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think
they put on so many matinees in the West End. They know they were looking for an older audience.
Touring audiences are more aware of the book, I think, in the film, and I think it would land well. And I think it's relatively easy to now take that on tour.
Where was Bella singing from? Was she in a box?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Could not see her.
No, nobody could see Bella from upstairs.
We were front row of the top level of the Royal Albert Hall. Yeah. It goes in a big U, and we were like, if we're at the back, slightly more that side.
There was a good question that came up. Oh, do we think O'Mary will turn into an open-ended run? I think this all depends on how well Catherine Tate sells.
And the possibility, and like who they could get to do it next.
I think just if Catherine Tate sells really well, and that like sells well, then it instantly means that they'll look into it.
Do you know what I just thought?
What?
I would love O'Mary to run long enough that they can put some of the SNL UK
I'd already
people
thought this. I'd already thought like Emma City.
Emma City was my immediate.
Or Annabelle Marlowe.
Yeah, or even like Celeste.
Yeah.
Could that age thing have to do with the tourist crowd versus regional crowds? Yeah, and I think London theatre goers who are London based or like London travelling who aren't necessarily tourists would probably skew younger as well, I think.
I wasn't surprised by the zero stereophonic wins. It just didn't like everybody wasn't talking about it in London like they were in New York. It wasn't the talk of the town. Like I'm just really happy it got noms because I'd got really nervous at one point that stereophonic might not even appear.
We already know the Regent's Park season for this summer. They're only doing one musical, which is Cats.
Yep.
Outdoor Cats.
And then it's going straight on tour after it's run in London.
Yes, yes. Careful, because that's going to be loud from the mic. I can imagine Catherine was independently owned really quick. I thought it was, I don't know. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. What else do we have here? I saw something. Oh, did the actress of Christine sing the top note at the end of the title song, or was it a recording? It's always a recording. It's always a recording.
Even in the theatre.
Even when Sarah Brightman did it in that, when she came back and did it at the end of the concert years ago.
It's a click.
The fact Moulin Rouge Broadway has extended by 5 weeks, does that mean you might get seeing it again? I don't think so, but a lot of other people will. Thrilled for them.
But we'll probably see it again in London at some point.
Yeah.
Because there's a cast change happening at the end of the year.
I wonder what Mason will do after Oh Mary. Is Mason going to go
I just felt like
to Broadway with Much Ado?
I was about to say, I feel like that would be wild not to have Mason.
Yeah. I think Paddington will do well on Broadway. Whether it will do well enough to recoup its massive investment, its $30 million budget, I don't know.
Talking about, I just saw somebody ask, talking about like with shows and height being enough to get a show to transfer, I feel like we can look at a certain play. You've asked if John Rochester's Villain will have a West End transfer. And I think the fact of how quickly that sold out is a very positive sign of the fact that everybody's talking. Everybody's talking about it. It is for, like, you mention John Proctor to anybody currently in the industry, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've been trying to see it," or "Oh, I'm seeing it," or "I booked it," and I'm like, "That's a great sound."
Yeah,
that's a really positive sign. If everybody's saying, "I need to book it," that's normally really positive. It doesn't mean we don't know anything, but that just means it's a positive sign.
Yeah. You mentioned in your Romeo and Juliet review that you'd like to see Sadie Sink in more contemporary works. Any revival ideas for her? Not revivals. Brand new roles. Brand new plays, I think.
I'd be intrigued to see what... I really want to know what Kimberly Bellflower is going to write next. And I feel like that relationship between the two of them is really strong. And because they're doing the film together, I'm like, ooh, can she debut like Kimberly's next work?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I've wanted Jack Malone to do Oh Mary for so long. I would love that. I think that would be great.
That'd be very cool.
Death becomes her West End transfer. No announcement anytime soon. As far as we hear, it might have been pushed back a little bit. So it's going to be the next Mean Girls or Beetlejuice, where it's just a waiting game until...
It will happen at some point.
Yeah.
But it's not yet.
Evita transfer. The talk is still as though it will be in the next Broadway season. Obviously, it's not in this one. But
it just keeps on evolving. I feel like the thing with Evita is I'll believe it when I see the announcement and I see that it's got a theatre. Now I'll believe it. But until then, I think things are changing, and as we can see, Rachel's filming a film at the minute. So like,
yeah, very excited to see Joy Woods in Cabaret. Very excited. Joe sounded great singing Giants in the Sky. Also excited to see Jamie Moscato in Cabaret.
It feels like it'll be such a great... I think it'll be a really fun way to see Jamie, because it reminds me of like how wild he was in Great Comet, and I like him playing. Yeah.
I'm going to come back to that Jesus Christ Superstar comment in just one moment, but I will say, and I'm going to come back to that Evita one as well, because we live in crazy town. I will say, every time they've announced new Cabaret leads for a while, I've been like, oh, I bet that person will be a bit like the X or Y, because they've had like a dozen pairs of leads now between the Broadway run and the West End one. And I can't think of anyone that Jamie Moscato or Joy Woods will necessarily resemble in terms of their characterization. I really can't anticipate how they're going to approach that role, and that's exciting to me.
Thoughts on what is going to replace Back to the Future? Comedy about spies that was nominated is going in there.
A comedy about spies.
Not for a while. They're doing refurb works,
Yeah.
and then it's going in for a summer run.
I promise I would come back to some of those comments. Andrew Lloyd Webber has said he'd love to see Jesus Christ Superstar modernized next. In terms of the productions that have happened of his work recently, in terms of the Jamie Lloyd ones, in terms of this Evita that was nominated this evening, in terms of Sunset Boulevard, the upcoming Jesus Christ Superstar that's happening in like weeks is that exact vibe. It's the very similar vibe. It's sort of gig theater. It's Jesus as like a gigging guy with like a guitar and a microphone stand, microphone cables.
The mob are basically like a contemporary dance troupe.
The Pharisees are rock guitarists. So it already exists. I don't know why he's saying that in interviews. It's because he's being asked which show next, and there's no good answer. Because at this point, they've run through his best work. So is he going to be like, Whistle Down the Wind?
But also, he's hyping up that show. I feel like that's part of it as well. He's like, maybe this one. He's like, it's this one that's coming.
And yet he's not, because he's not connected. This was American interview. It's because of Cats. And they were like, which of your shows next?
Broadway adjacent. He's probably already thinking about bringing that production over, which is already toured the US. But it's probably him like being like, oh, maybe I'm thinking about this about production.
Amber Davis has never done Six, but that would be fun. Would she be a Berlin? She could also be a Howard or a Seymour, to my mind.
I think she's a Howard.
I think people think she's a Howard. I think she'd be a fun Seymour. Maybe it's because
she was also a thingy.
She was also a Vivian. Yeah. I don't know.
I just feel like she's got the acting chops to have fun with what Howard gets to do, and I feel like Howard has that the most.
Yeah. Maybe happy ending West End transfer. We cross our fingers. We hope to hear.
Yeah. Similar with Notebook. I felt like hopefully they both will. It's just when and it's with who.
Death Becomes Her has not been pushed back because of Miss Saigon, just to clarify. It might be that Miss Saigon, I don't even know if... I was never hearing that Death Becomes Her was going to the Adelphi, necessarily. So it might be that Miss Saigon is going there, and it's not, but it's not like... No one has said, oh, let's have a Miss Saigon revival instead. You can wait over there, Death Becomes. So that's not how that conversation has necessarily worked. Jesus Christ Superstar is a West End revival. Absolutely. It's not a new musical. There was a comment up here I wanted to get to. Someone said Bella should be the Evita lead on Broadway. Bella's great. I love Bella. They're going to... Rachel Zegler is going to do it. That production is Rachel Zegler. And if for some reason not, it either wouldn't happen or it would still need to be a substantial name. And yeah.
Maybe we are off to New York soon. Maybe we will be there at the same time as Ellie.
You'll get an update. Don't you worry.
Who knows? Maybe we need to pack our bags soon.
I'm going to leave. Don't enjoy watching you eat. Well, we finished, Robert, so you don't need to worry. Have you also? You must be. What do you do when you go to dinner with people? What else do we have here? Have you heard the rumors about a Hedwig revival? I'm gagged. Maybe we have. Maybe we haven't. What do you think could be next for Theatre Royal Drury Lane and the Duke of York's? I don't know how to be ambiguous about what I've heard. So I'm not going to say
things
anything.
might get announced soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear a lot of news soonish. When children rule the world tonight, I would actually be intrigued.
How far behind are we?
Not very.
Oh, that's good.
Problematic nature of Whistle Down the Wind's plot notwithstanding, I would be intrigued to see what a contemporary new production look like. Does it need a new book? Does it just need like a real rewrite? Does it need the right director? Don't know. I truly don't know. I know this was rumored at one point. I think Sweaty Oracle said they were going to do, like, Australia was going to do Love Never Dies and Phantom in rep.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
I would actually love that. I would love.
I mean, they've currently got Phantom of the Harbour.
I know. I would kind of love that, even though I'm critical of Love Never Dies as a piece.
It's fascinating to know if sequel musicals is such a fascinating concept, and
I feel like Love Never Dies has never once been cast correctly. It has never, and don't get me wrong, great people, great voices. But if you're gonna do, Imagine if they did Devil Wears Prada 2 and it was coming out in cinemas now, and they were like, and great news, it's going to be like Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder from Hacks because you like their dynamics, so we're going to put them in it. Or like people who were the same age as Streep and Hathaway were circa the first movie. You want Meryl and Anne Hathaway to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we cast Love Never Dies with people who are the right age to do Phantom right now? Sierra had just been Christine. Ramin had not long been Phantom. And then they went back to those roles that they were still age appropriate for. And I was like, if you can convincingly play them in Phantom years after doing Love Never Dies, you were not old enough for Love Never Dies. Audiences basically, fair enough that Sarah Brightman and Michael Crawford weren't going to do it, but that was the vibe. That's what you wanted. Get someone who played Christy, get Rebecca Kane, get two leads who were in Phantom in the 90s, in the late 80s, to go and do Love Never Dies when it opened. That would have been interesting to me. But they never, in all the times of doing it, they've never, I think, cast it. I mean,
it's interesting with Celinda just by the fact that Celinda, it was a while back when she last played that role.
Not long enough. Not long enough. She's not 20 years.
No, she's obviously not.
Christine, or 10 years, however. No. 10 long years. 10 years. Fine. Yeah. But yeah, they never feel like 10 years older of a Christine. And also, none of those sopranos get to work into their 30s and 40s, their late 30s, their 40s, their 50s, because the roles don't exist anymore. Because all the roles for sopranos are young. And when there are roles for sopranos that age, they get given to other people, like Marion the Librarian becoming a belter. I said it because I thought it. Anyway, are you surprised Sean Hayes lost? Sean Hayes didn't lose. Sean Hayes just won a different category.
For performing.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see any more Sondheim in 2026? In London? Well, there's the Sweeney Todd opening in Birmingham. There's a Little Night Music happening in Manchester. We don't know what the Menier is doing for Christmas. And they occasionally pull out a Sondheim. They've done Christmas Sondheims many times.
We don't know what the Bridge is doing at the end of the year either.
We don't know what the Bridge is doing at the end of the year.
There's kind of a few fibs we don't know what's going on with.
Yeah. What do you think we will see at Drury Lane before Greatest Showman? I can't tell you, and I don't know if what I know is true or not. Do you think Masquerade will come to the UK in any way with how successful in America it has been? I don't know if it will while Phantom is still running here. That's the thing. I was talking to a friend of ours about this, and she said it's a very different thing. And it is, but I just think the brands step on each other's toes a little bit.
I think it's much harder to do it here.
Yeah.
And run some. I mean, when I say that, there's 3 productions. There's 3 ABBA-related productions running concurrently together. I just think it would be trickier. I think they would have more issues where people accidentally bought the wrong show.
Yeah.
And they don't know just how much sales impact each other.
Yeah. Let's speed through some of these. What are your thoughts on Andrew developing a musical on the Mona Lisa theft? You could have told me that was April Fool's news and I would have believed you. Amber is Seymour to me. I agree with you, Amanda. I agree with you. I think I can see her doing a Heart of Stone and a little emotional speech, and her and Natalie are besties. So that would be cute as well. I would love to see Cat the Jellicle Ball on Broadway, hopefully this summer. Not sure if it would work here, but I'd love it to try. Well, we're getting, as we said, Regent's Park Cats that's then touring, so we won't have another Cats here for a while.
Very long time.
The Netherlands are doing museum Cats, where every cat is inspired by iconic artwork.
And I think Jellicle Ball Cats, the thing is that the specific reference points and everything is just so New York.
Yeah.
And the West London has such a connection with Cats that I think it's too hard to change.
Don't blame Jamie Lloyd for the Jesus Christ Superstar Evita symmetry, because this Jesus Christ Superstar revival is not Jamie Lloyd. It looks like Jamie Lloyd, but it goes to show he's not the only director who does stuff like this. This is Timothy Sheeder, former recent artistic director of Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. And that production of Jesus Christ Superstar...
Donmar Warehouse.
Yeah, now at the Donmar. That production started at Regent's Park, came back to Regent's Park, went to the Barbican, went back to Regent's Park as theatres were reopening in the pandemic, toured the UK again, toured the US, toured Australia. So it's
I do think that hurt Evita at the Olivier Awards. That the Evita, when it was at Regent's Park, had already been eligible.
Yeah.
So it's like it is, but it's an evolved form, and I wonder if that also felt weird.
Yeah,
with voters.
No, the Illusionist is still happening. Andrew's just working on
He
two.
finished the music for Illusionist a while back, and then I think writers write many shows at once. This is what you like is really fascinating, is they're working on like there's some new musical theatre composers that have like 5 shows in the works at the same time.
Yeah. Sadly, I think the next audiences to see Why Am I So Single will probably be American audiences. I feel like, fun fact, they wrote a lot of that show at Goodspeed in Connecticut, which is a regional theatre that supports and develops, that supports and develops new musical theatre writing. Wouldn't surprise me if they reworked it, or even didn't rework it that much, and just did it in the US. Are we heading to Amsterdam for the Little Big Things? I want to. Yeah, I do want to very much. I would like to. Want to see that show again. Do you think we'll see West Side Story at the National anytime soon? I hope we see it somewhere. Because guess who hasn't seen West Side Story? Aaron James. Guess who else hasn't seen West Side Story? Mickey Jo. Never seen it. Can you? How embarrassing.
I've seen a school do it. I've just not seen.
Then you've seen more than me.
Oh yeah, I've seen but it was like a senior school.
I've seen nothing. Nothing. I've never seen. When have I had the chance to see West Side Story? Answer: Leicester Curve. Yeah, but that was sort of before Mickey Jo was MickeyJoTheatering. Mickey Jo was just Michaeling at that time. What's happening with the lighting? Back to Marmalade. So yes, I hope so. And good to hear about Becky Shaw. Good to hear. Bit of a hint. You two having information, not being able to share it is so funny. It's not ours. I never want to be one of those social media theatre people who screams at you about news. Not Sean, who screams at you about news and is just releasing embargoed information for clout and to get more people to pay for a membership. That's not what I'm about. I'm not doing that because I know the people who work in PR and marketing on these shows. I know how hard they work to put together a release plan. And guess what? The more attention let's say a new show is announced, could be a revival, could be like brand new musical, whatever. Let's say it's announced and there's an Instagram post announcing it. The more impressions that gets on social media, the more people see it, the more people that will proportionally there'll be more conversions, more tickets will be sold.
Also, when a show gets announced and it surprises people, everybody sends that to all their friends. They share that to their friendship groups and stuff, and in fact, Instagram now pushes that. That's really big in the algorithm, is how many people sent it in their DMs to people.
Yeah.
But if everybody knows ahead, because
if a content creator has already screamed at you, guess what, Audra's doing Gypsy, and then it gets announced, then you just message your friends being like, oh, they were right. It's happening.
Like, oh, it's true. We already know this.
And the rollout doesn't,
like, we know this.
The ball doesn't roll all the way down the hill.
You don't want it to become like, oh, we know this already. What else is new?
And so instead of that show and that announcement getting enough buzz to drive it up beyond the theatre bubble, we have a responsibility to carry this news to people outside of the theatre bubble, because we in the theatre bubble can't sell everything out. We need normal people to buy tickets to these shows. We need to help them find out about it. So uplifting with views, with clicks, with Discord membership payments, the people who are spoilering productions. And guess what? They're not talented for doing that. They don't have a gift for finding things out. People tell them, people leak to them, and they say, I hear this. There's no skill in that. There's just nerve. They're just obnoxious. Anyway, before I get a lawsuit for starting a fight on a live stream, we're going to carry on. Who will be Christine and Phantom after Beatrice Painter runs ends 19? I can't tell you that either. You'll find out news about these things. Is it 9th of May?
They'll probably soon announce it, because it'll be like now that they've done this big Olivier.
Maybe that's why they couldn't announce it until after today, because it would be weird to announce and then someone else is doing. Okay, I think you'll find out real soon. This week, I think
they'll do a big thing where it's like, this is the anniversary cast of Phantom, like they just did with Wicked.
Yeah,
Wicked just announced
Joe, you're smart. Phantom matinee Love Never Dies concert evening in October. The Phantom Love Never Dies 2-show day. The coveted 2-show day. Did we do the Wizard of Oz Wicked one in the end?
Yes. Because we did it with the Wicked Afternoon Tea.
We did. That was smart of us. Yeah. Would love to see Melissa Barrera do Titanic on the West End or do an exciting new role. I'm all for exciting new role. Like, yay, fun for her to do Titanic, but I think she's so talented. She was one of my favorites in the In the Heights movie. I thought she was so great, and I would love to see her just.
Well, she's been dreaming of doing Broadways, and I feel like once somebody like gets into that sphere, then it all becomes a bit easier to.
Yeah. Why doesn't Children of Eden get a grand revival? Is it hard to sell biblical? What? Oh, what? Because Jesus Christ
really
Superstar.
think about the show that's just like as ridiculously.
Jesus
sold
Christ
out.
Superstar isn't selling on biblical. Jesus Christ
No.
Superstar is selling on you all know the music because this was a rock concept album in the 70s.
But it
and a
is just
movie.
funny. I mean, Godspell does well and doesn't do well. It really depends. I don't even actually think Godspell's done that well for ages.
I don't think Gospel does well commercially. It's hard to sell Children of Eden. It's hard to sell like Bible. It's hard to sell Old Testament. That's what I think it is. But I don't know. Here's the answer. Not sure Paddington will translate thoughts. It doesn't need to translate because
It's charm.
contrary to what you've heard, American audiences still speak English. That was a joke. I apologize. Matilda is a good case study, and
Matilda still didn't run for a short time. I think this is what I realized looking back at it. Matilda's run, like you can think, was it short on Broadway? It actually wasn't that short.
yeah, there's some sort of farmyard debate happening, and I'm not quite following where that's coming from. Are we talking about the commercial appeal of Shucked with a barnyard color palette? Help me out here. What's going on here? The Phantom in the Harbour production is 23. He's amazing, but seems too young. I'm not against a young Phantom.
It made me enjoy Masquerade a lot more.
We had a young and, how to phrase this diplomatically, a conventionally attractive Phantom of the Opera in Masquerade. And not that there haven't been others beforehand. The Ramin Karimlus of this world.
I will say it just helped a lot in not giving me the ick.
What I mean here is I've so rarely seen it where Phantom and Raoul could be played by the same actor, but one of them is wearing a mask. And she's really got a choice to make where it's not Daddy Issues Phantom of the Opera, right? Because so often they play
That's what I mean.
Valjean
by
and
ick.
Cassette together, and then they're like, let's go do Phantom together. You know, I was just playing your adoptive dad. Now I'm taking
And
you
it
down to my
just-
sexy
it just,
dungeon.
Yeah, it just gave me a lot more of like, oh, I see. I feel more. I was like, okay, I can get where we're going with the Christine conflict here, which whenever I've seen Phantom, I get a bit like this kind of feels like somebody needs to come and like help Christine out of this situation.
It was
right
great
now.
to be like, Christine, you've got a difficult decision on your hands here, and I genuinely don't know what to tell you. Like, I've never experienced that before. I've always been like, girl, get out of the graveyard. It wasn't your dad 5 minutes ago. It's not your dad now. Why can't you learn? She runs out of the opera house going like, this ghost pretended to be my father, but he's not. And then he shows up again. She's like, I know you have a flamethrower now, but are you my dad? What's going on? Come on.
Can I just say, I called it that we get Masquerade tonight.
Masquerade. That was a really great
It was very well done
choice.
on stage.
Masquerade into Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Masquerade on the steps. Loved.
Very well done.
Loved it. That was good vibes. I enjoyed that. Do you think we'll see Spelling Bee here anytime soon? I hope so. But I think they don't know how to sell it because we don't have spelling bees in the UK. The entire concept is a little.
Do you know what? It's
different.
tricky because we haven't seen like a route for the off-Broadway Little Shop to even come here. It's the thing is we don't have New World stages.
Little
We
spaces.
have the Civic Playhouses, but they don't work for those kind of shows that want to run longer than so many months. And that's the issue that we have. Like, if a theatre like Charing Cross could work for a long running show, that would make an impact. Like kind of the Other Palace. Like the Other Palace doesn't do long running shows really anymore since Heathers. But those kind of shows would need a place where they could sit for years. Like the Trafalgar Theatre is probably about similar kind of size, or the Fortune.
Mhm.
And that makes it tricky for a show like Spelling Bee, I think, to even find a home in London.
Yeah.
If it was that production.
Nicole, we did attend the Olivier Awards this evening. This is what we wore. What else have in here? Can't wait for Jonathan Groff in Stratford. I know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I'm very intrigued who his love interest is going to be. Because obviously we found out they're two cousins, but we haven't found out who they're...
I was about to say, can it be me? But I'll behave.
Wow.
I know. We can alternate. You want to flip a coin, and it can be one of the two of us every show. Or, no, you can be Phoebe, and I'll be, because it's all male production, you can be Phoebe, and I'll be the guy who says, how are your goats, Phoebe?
I love Phoebe.
I love that line. I love the guy that
Phoebe
says, how are your
such a
goats today?
Phoebe is an incredible part in that.
There you go. Those are our roles. Stratford, if you're listening, we're ready. I'm off book. How are your goats? What else do we have here? Any chance of Punch returning to London with the new cast? Asks David.
No, it's good. Well, it's so this tour's a limited, maybe, but I don't think so. I think this run's doing its limited run now, and then next year it's going on a full tour.
Yeah, I think that the ultimately for Punch, it's a story that needs to be seen regionally, and that makes more sense for it.
They also just already have the plans out. Maybe it could go in, but I feel like if it would come back to the West End, it would be because suddenly a gap's become stuck, and then.
But it did London transfer and commercial run. It did Young Vic and the Apollo.
And it's done this regional tour. It's done Broadway.
Yeah.
But they've already, I think, because they've already set these plans for the tour next year, I kind of would be like, don't hurt the tour next year.
Yeah. Are you excited for Sunday in the Park with George at the Park? Am I excited for Sunday in the Park with George at the Park? Yes. Because once again, and this may shock you after the West Side Story revelation, do you know who hasn't seen Sunday in the Park with George? Aaron James. Do you know who else hasn't seen Sunday in the Park with George? Mickey Jo. I've not had the chance. No. When have I had the chance to see Sunday in the Park with George? It has not presented itself. It hasn't been done here.
Are you putting the YouTube button on the wall or not? This is the question. I can see it. It's all over there.
The YouTube button, if you can see that little, the black thing there, that's a Play That Goes Wrong ledger that has been signed. The YouTube play button is just to the left of that, sitting next to my Sondheim books, which are prized possessions. You'll notice on the wall, not a lot of space on the wall. Not easy to move things around because they're Velcroed there.
And even if it went on there, it'd probably be round that corner that you wouldn't really see any.
I am so worried about it falling and breaking. Like if a frame breaks, fine, it's paper in there, it's fine. I'm so worried about it breaking. So I might try and display it on the bookcase so that you can all see it and we can all enjoy it together. I'm very worried about it falling and breaking. So I don't think I want to stick it on the wall. But we'll see if a spot becomes available. It's also occurring to me, if Erin and I ever move to a different flat, these are all held up by like 4 command strips, especially the heavy ones. That's louder than you think. So to take all these off the wall and stick them back up, this wall, just to stick it up, probably costs in the region of £200 to £300 just to stick it on the wall, not even like for the frames. Isn't that nuts? So every time I stick something on there now, I'm like, does that make sense? Anyway, you didn't ask. Masquerade is a UK tour. I cannot imagine the logistics of trying to tour that.
And Phantom will tour again soon because they just did the anniversary. Like this is the anniversary point.
Yeah. Yeah. Which musical would you each be most excited to see in concert this year over a fully staged production? Over a fully... I always want a fully staged production. Concert, there has to be like...
I think the concert, it would have to be for music. It would be encore style. It would
we
be
just
a
really
musical...
want to hear the score.
It'd be a musical that, like, we haven't heard the full orchestration of for ages.
Well, you want to hear it with, like, 50-piece, yeah.
Yeah, where it's something that nobody could afford to do.
Yeah. I mean, Hunchback was a great candidate for that reason. I immediately went to like Classic and Rodgers and Hammerstein and Golden Age. I don't know. That's a surprisingly tricky one
Maybe
to consider.
Titanic. I know that just happened, but like I don't think in the UK we've heard the full.
No, because it was a small production.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And like I don't know if that feels like something where I'm like, I don't know if we're like at a point where we need the production back yet because it's been on a lot, but whether just hearing a one night where it was for full.
I don't not want a full production of this, but she loves me.
Oh, I just want a full production because I've
I
never
know, I
seen
do
it
too.
live.
I do too.
I love that show.
I have seen it live. I was about to do that same joke again. I have seen it live. I saw it in Sheffield. I was telling Alyssa about this because on the Paddington bus, I was on a Paddington bus the other day, everyone. Everyone ate their marmalade sandwiches and they didn't know the show. And I held my marmalade sandwich until the song Marmalade and I waited to have a biblical experience. And I was saying when I went to go see She Loves Me at Sheffield Crucible, coming out of shut, I think we were still masked, maybe socially distant seating. Vanilla Ice Cream, the song is in the second act. A lot of people there didn't necessarily know the show. It's just what's on over Christmas at Sheffield Crucible. I bought an ice cream tub in the interval and I waited and I bided my time. Bided? Until the second act. And then obnoxiously, she starts singing that song and I'm like, eating my ice cream like,
and
didn't I plan this well?
Well, you're like, didn't I plan this well? And probably what nobody knows of that story. I don't know. We didn't really know each other then, but was it all melted? And you were like, oh no, it was
melted. It was fine. It was getting there.
That sounds like
it was getting
that sounds like when you're like, wasn't I clever? And then the person next to you looks at you and they're like, why did you wait until your ice cream had fully melted?
I'm there by myself. And Alex Young, lovely Alex Young, is singing ice cream. And I'm like,
but you were like this, and then it was just like melted ice cream just falling off the
needlessly
spoon.
Sassy, needlessly happy with myself. Like, I got the ice cream. It's vanilla ice cream. So silly. No reason, but I was satisfied. That was like, our friends would do the same thing. If the Americans were here, because they can't get ice cream at the theatre in the US. Anyway, that was a very long answer. Punch is from Nottingham, and playwright James Graham is from Nottingham. Guys and Dolls is my favorite show that I've seen from your suggestion. What show would you say most closely resembles that? Oh my gosh. In terms of the tone of the material or in terms of the way it was staged? Because those are two very different things.
The staging, in London's tricky.
Yeah.
In New York, it would be Cats of the Jellicle Ball. For like staging style.
I was going to say Masquerade if you liked the interactive thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Pride is coming into the National for all the summer.
Yes.
So I don't know if it'll then go to... It could go to the West End after that. It'll depend on how it does at the National, but it will be at the National for all over the summer.
Yeah. It's not the same Jesus Christ Superstar as the Hollywood Bowl one. No. Michael, enjoy Cats at Regent's Park. I'm also looking forward to it. AJ saw Cats in a conference hall.
Wow.
Fascinating. AJ is also quoting lines from Tick, Tick, Boom. Come to your senses, defense is fine. Do you think Legal Blonde will transfer? It could follow the same Kinky Boots pattern.
Same producers.
Do a tour, come into town. If the timing's right, if the theatre's there.
If the cast's available.
I think it could run.
Yeah.
I think it could run. See no reason why not. I think when Cats the Joker Ball does transfer, it has to be on the Prince Edward, since that's where most of the gay bars are, but I don't know, since it's not an LW theatre. Fair point. Yeah, that's... all of that makes sense. I don't know. There's a lot of you can get the gays to a lot of different places. Be interesting. I mean, the most obvious place to do it would be Priscilla the Party, Outernet. Here at Outernet, but it's hard to sell.
Or the Emerald Theatre.
A new space, or the Emerald Theatre, but lower capacity.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it would work here.
I just don't think it would. I think the culture... I think people would be like, it's fun, but I just don't think... I don't think it has the same...
London
resonance.
Is not quite New York, and that is one of the ways in which London is really not New York.
Because it's ballroom culture, and UK drag is very different.
This is not the city that never sleeps. This is the city that goes to bed around 10 p.m. So there's that. I'm coming to London in September this year. Do you have any recommendations? I never know how to answer this question because it's a very personal one. I would just say, check out, you can use things like Todaytix and London Theatre.co.uk and Theatre Monkey to check out what's running, and you can cross-reference that with reviews that I've shared of things. But a lot will be open in September or open from the summer that hasn't opened yet that I won't yet know about. So
check out Sing Out Louise.
Yeah.
It was like the London's version of Marie's Crisis.
Yeah, if you want a late night piano bar, and who doesn't?
A musical fit sing-along.
Exactly. I feel Excuse me. I feel we'll lose a long-running show this year. I don't know, and I try not to speculate about it because it's sad when it happens.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything that's been heard.
Yeah, Jules, isn't it wild that I've seen The Frogs and not West Side Story? Here's what's wild, is we went through this time when there were no like big hitter-song times being done in the UK.
You know why?
I know we know why, but I'm going to say it anyway. And in Paris, admittedly, we saw Funny Thing Happen on the Way to the Forum, and then in London, Pacific Overtures and Roadshow and The Frogs. And I was like, the 4 Sondheims I've seen in a row have been these 4. What's going on, London?
Basically, a lot of these shows were not allowed to be licensed because they were
allegedly.
The songs were on stage in Old Friends.
Hey,
so I think Old Friends, until Old Friends had finished its run, those rights were being kept onto, and it was all very fresh. And I think it then became very like, that's going to be the first production in the UK since Sondheim's passing, which feels, it all hits very differently when it's like, this is going to be like the production. And also like pre Sondheim's passing, Sondheim signed off every single thing that was going to happen with shows.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got to learn, they've been learning, how do you sign off things when he is not here to sign them off, and who signs off that, and how do you say yes to different things,
and what was already in the pipeline and what was agreed, and did that affect anything,
and does it rework with the timings, and there was a lot of stuff. There's been a delay,
complexity,
and like who is dealing with the estate and who we learned tonight.
Yes,
on stage.
Yeah. Are we still expecting any announcements for new openings in London this summer? The answer unbelievably is yes. Young Vic
a lot
is announcing soon. Old Vic is announcing ?
There's lot. There's multiple. There's quite a few theatres in London that haven't said their summer plans yet, or slightly after their summer.
Yeah, but those 2 are ones to be aware of. Are you going to see Megan Thee Stallion in Moulin Rouge or Mr. Schuster in Just in Time? Hot take: they should swap for one night only, but perform in each other's style. Unsure.
I would love to see theatre in Ireland. We just don't have plans yet.
Yeah. Give us your Irish theatre recommendations, and I would love to see theatre in Ireland that's not just like going to see a tour at. I do want to visit the Bordgas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. In Dublin, but I don't want to just go see like Warhorse when it's there, or like the Les Mis tour, because like there's been chances in the past. I don't want to just go and see a UK and Ireland tour there,
because like it would have been cool to like Come From Away when it was doing its tryout,
or Fun Home when it was at the Gate, the Abbey or the Gate. One of the 2. But I want to go and see actual Irish theatre. We often see some at Fringe. Yeah, but
it'd be nice to see.
Yeah, hit me with your Rex.
To see musical theatre or theatre being created there.
Yeah. What other classics have you missed out on? I always find this interesting.
Oh gosh,
what are the gaps? West Side Story has always been the most conspicuous, and Sunday is the most conspicuous.
I have a spreadsheet somewhere of like all the Tony and Olivier Award winners, and so we can see like which ones we haven't seen.
I've never seen the normal carousel. I saw Regent Park carousel, but it was a reworking.
I think what was a big shocker that we both hadn't seen on there.
We've now seen Little Mermaid. That's not classic.
No, that isn't classic.
No, I was just trying to. I don't know why I went to Beauty and the Beast and then I went to The Little Mermaid. Good question. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
I've seen it. I saw it on tour with Helena Black.
Bless your beautiful heart wherever it may go. I'd love to see Why Am I So Single USA starring Chris Colfer and Barrett Wilbert Weed. I don't think those people are the age to do that show now.
I would be fascinated to see if Chris Colfer does ever say yes to Broadway, because currently he's very happy being the other half of the Broadway producer and being like going to support his friends on Broadway, but doing his writing and being very happy. I think I'd like to see him finally go to the stage. It'd be interesting to see.
I would too.
What that's like.
Are we bombastic side-eyeing sweaty Oracle here? No, of course not. Yes. What else?
Oh, we are behind.
Only a little bit, because I started being long-winded. That's who I am. That's
gosh.
who I am.
Oh my gosh.
Shh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come on, normal people, buy tickets so we get more theatre. Exactly. I was just having this exact conversation. How do we
Oh,
get
that was
people from
ages
outside the bubble? But talking about women's hockey. There you go. I'd go see. Do you know what? I would much sooner go see women's sports than men's.
I have been very excited to just see the impact that heated rivalries had on hockey.
Also that.
But I also hope that means that they're going to be more like loving to queer sports players and make it a better place.
Yeah. What did you think of Ian McKellen not being able to read auto cue? He's an old man who doesn't have glasses.
It's really far away. I will say that auto cue is nowhere near the stage.
Could my grandmother do that on stage? No.
And it was hilarious in the sweetest way because it was like Helen like responding and like to Ian, and they'd known each other for ages. It was fun.
What did we say for AJ 291 to say Joseph 3 times in increasingly large font?
Oh, is that about? Oh, that's your whole biblical thing in the Old Testament, and then be like Joseph.
Joseph's another weird one because British people know the songs and the show because of this like growing up with it like school. But
also,
it's a weird one.
No, but
it's hard to market stuff that's already culturally popular. You don't have to market it new. If you tried to sell Joseph as a new musical now, you'd have a very hard time doing it, and no one knows Children of Eden here in the same way.
I mean, you still wouldn't because all the C of E school, all the primary schools that are all.
I went to a C of E school.
I went to a C of E-esque school and then a Catholic school, and both did Joseph. So
yeah, we will absolutely be doing the Edinburgh Fringe again this year.
Yes.
Looking at the Olivier Awards this year makes me realize how bad the Tony Awards are this year, especially for new musicals. It's just an ebb and flow thing because look how many great new musicals there were last year at the Tonys, and the Oliviers didn't always have.
And they're still on
that many.
This is the thing, like Broadway. It's all depending on like
how much stuff closed, how much stuff is still running. Maybe Happy Ending's still running. Outsiders is still running. In a year where everything closes, Broadway has to have a lot of new shows. Yeah. In a year where stuff is still running, Broadway doesn't have as many new shows.
Shows are waiting for closures so they can go in.
Will you be traveling to Manchester for Thespians? We'll see if the Thespians. We probably won't see it in Manchester. Clay Singer, yes, was the young.
He was very good.
The young Phantom. Are you planning on seeing Schmigadoon on Broadway? Yes. Schmaybe. Any tea from the awards night that could be hot gossip about the stars?
Not really. You don't really hear anything when you're sat watching, to be honest, because we didn't really see many people.
No, I didn't go to the after party. Did Angela Pepper play the organ? Yes, he seemed to. Spelling Bee is great, but I feel it's now a theatre lovers show. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Any early Fringe 2026 shows you plan to see? Bliss is one.
Yeah,
excited about Bliss. Excited about.
I'm intrigued by Katie Tunstall's musical because it sounds fascinating.
What was the name of the show we went to see in the beginning?
Oh, Legendary.
Legendary.
That was very good.
That's a hot tip. On the subject of Christine and having daddy issues and thinking the Phantom, her father, doesn't make it even more creepy considering she gets pregnant by him according to Love Never Dies. Well, I think she's by that point realised he's not, but you're not wrong.
Well, thank you, Guy, for the...
Thank you, Guy Keith Miller, for the super thanks. There was a message with it. Feel free to ask again and we will answer. What else? My aunt saw Punch in Nottingham a couple of weeks ago and she said it was amazing.
Yay.
It is amazing.
With Grace in it.
Yes, Grace Hodge Young. Can you put the YouTube button surrounded by dressing room-esque lights? I have that. Fun fact, that's what the bedroom mirror looks like. So Ian is allowed to do what he wants. Exactly. Are you excited for the Jonathan Larson project this summer?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited to see if it's evolved from how we saw it when we saw it off Broadway.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed it, but I wanted them to make some changes to the framing.
Yeah.
I love the set. I just wanted changes to the framing, so I'm excited to see if they've made those changes.
Yeah. We will be coming to see something rotten in Manchester, hopefully. Haven't made concrete plans to yet, but I never make concrete plans more than a month in advance. Have we ever had a West Point story on stage? I know what that is, but my brain is tired. I know what's West Point story. That's from something. It'll come to me. Have you heard news of a musical about Lady M? Yeah, the one that performed at West End Live years ago. Yes.
I think Punch struggled a bit on Broadway just because it didn't have like big names that everybody was going to talk about because it was like Victoria Clark. It was very classy casting, but also it's very. I was saying this to somebody when we were walking back after it earlier today. I just feel like it's so authentically and specific to a regional area of the UK, and I think that sometimes just doesn't translate in New York.
Yeah. Versus this comment here I'm reading: visited London from the US this fall and saw 6 shows. My favorite was Clarkston, which London critics disliked. I think it would do great in a studio theatre in Chicago. American writer, American director, American producers largely. It felt like a Chicago theatre play. It felt like an off-Broadway. It felt very downtown. It didn't feel like a West End play. It's not the kind of storytelling that we're used to. Doesn't mean it was bad. There's just something to be said for
you can tell a difference between some American plays and UK ones.
Just vibe.
And like the scope.
Yeah. There's a lot of like downtown New York theatre where it's more about the emotional connectivity between these characters. And it's like they're figuring each other out and kind of sniffing around each other for 90 minutes and not a lot happens.
Yeah.
In London, in British plays, I think London audiences expect something to happen more substantially.
Yeah. They don't like to ruminate that much.
What do you think Sheffield Crucible does Chess the Musical in the next few years? I would love more UK places to try Chess. I don't want it to be the new book.
I mean, I feel like we're just going to get the Broadway production at some point.
Yeah. The US doesn't have ice cream theatre. Correct.
Yeah. They just have sweets.
Yeah.
Sweets and schmackeries. Some of the ATGs sell schmackeries.
What theatres in the round would be available for a one-day transfer?
I don't know anymore.
Who knows? 10-year anniversary of Eugenius. But I want to see Eugenius staged. Does that make you feel old? 10 years since Eugenius? That's your time. That's when you were knocking about.
Did you never see it?
No, I was too young. I wasn't doing things then. That's when you were influencing. Go Eugenius.
I saw 2 different productions, 2 different casts of that show.
Comic book kind of life.
I think see, here's the thing. Eugenius hits better as a cast recording than as a show.
Eugenius, go
Eugenius. That was probably one of the best parts of the show. Like, I like the vibes and the music of Eugenius. I enjoyed a lot. Did I necessarily feel like it was the best situation of a musical? No, it was an interesting one.
Christopher, you make an astute point. I fear people will see Ballroom Cats and think strictly not queer ballroom.
Yeah.
Which I now unfortunately do. I do want to see Ballroom and Latin Cats now as well. I love this for Cats. And I want another show to have this kind of licensing journey in the future where they say, do you know what? No one's doing Junkyard anymore. You may not do Junkyard. Go think of something better. And then everyone around the world is like, let's cook. And they come up with these genius. I've been thrilled seeing all of these Night at the Museum cats, circus cats, abandoned roller coaster cats, and the Jellicle Ball.
I am just going to say about this, going back to Gillian Lynn, I just now want shows to use for Gillian Lynn revolve. I'm tired of it. Like, we got Cinderella using it, and then people were like, yeah, let's not do that again. And I'm like, it's the only theatre that has that capability, and it's fun. Like, use it.
You know what I think is, I mean, Mischief could do so much with that, because I literally think it would be fun if every show had to use it contractually, but it's going to happen at a set time. And if they're not, if they started late, or if the scene's been going slower, then it's just going to start happening.
But the thing is, I just love to see a creative team go in and be like, fully use it and use the capabilities of it properly. Because even with Cinderella, I was like, it was a cool moment, but like for the first half, but then getting the audience back to where they were was so awkward. And I'm like,
yeah,
you could do such a cool production utilizing that revolve.
Edward says, I'm surprised All My Sons didn't win much, but thrilled about Kenrick's doing well. I mean, All My Sons, Best Revival was a big win. Paddington took director. That did surprise me. And they won 1 out of 4 of their acting categories. All My Sons is another one. Everyone's saying, like, when's Paddington going to announce Broadway? When's Evita going to announce Broadway? Is All My Sons going to announce a Broadway transfer? I kind of expect it to.
Inter alia just did.
Inter alia just did, yeah. I find if I put songs up, Mickey Jo songs them, I challenge you to this. Sure has been my day. Floating. Oh, this is a comment about how if I read a song, I start singing it. I didn't even realize this one. Head in the bubbles and my feet on the ground, but there is more to me than just my name. Maybe one day Mr. Krabs will say, the Krusty Krab, yours is your lucky day. SpongeBob. Anyway, is everyone excited for Beetlejuice?
I'm intrigued what set they've got.
Yeah. Will I do a Sondheim ranked video once I've seen all the Sondheim musicals on stage? That's exactly what I want to do. I'm waiting until I've seen Passion.
All the biggies, because I don't know if you'll see all of them before you get to.
No, I probably won't have seen like Do I Hear a Waltz and Saturday Night. I missed the chance to see Saturday Night a few weeks ago, and it makes me very sad because I was going on holiday with my family, which was nice, but also Saturday Night. Any idea if Finding Neverland will ever return? Gary Barlow really wants it to.
He keeps saying it's coming back this year, but then where's the facts, Gary? Where's the facts?
Hamilton or In the Heights? Generational impact, redefining musical theatre and the way it's been written. Hamilton. Within the Heights is a forerunner to it, but Hamilton, the more impactful. We wouldn't have 6 if we didn't have Hamilton. There's a whole bunch of shows we wouldn't have if we didn't have Hamilton. Comfort vibes, cozy, sing-along, In the Heights for me.
Yeah.
Fantastic to see Boy at the Back of the Class win. Saw it at Bristol Old Vic. Well deserved.
Everybody we know is just seen it at the South Bank Centre. I'm kind of like, oh, but I know it's going on tour, I think.
Yeah. It's so sad that Old Friends kept so many shows transferring with how well Merrily did in New York. I think if Merrily had wanted to come here, it would have come here.
That's different.
Merrily started here.
Yeah, Merrily's different. Merrily had already happened here, and I feel like they just couldn't get.
Yeah.
If that cast really wanted to come over here, it would have happened, but I feel like it's...
Yeah. Abbey Theatre in Dublin. Oh, my gosh.
There, we'll keep going now. We don't have any idea who's in Funhome at the Royal Exchange.
Do you miss having physical tickets? I thought about this the other day because someone was talking about in the curtain call video. There was a comment of someone saying that's now the only souvenir we have because we don't have physical tickets anymore because they're e-tickets. And I realized I get more tickets than most people because press tickets are still physical.
Yeah.
Press night tickets are still
everybody's normally e-tickets.
In an envelope. Yeah.
I agree. I feel like in a... it's the thing with the curtain photos and like the program photos. Like you can't even take a program photo unless you bought the program. So it's just of the curtain or whatever's the situation. But yeah, because here we don't do free playbills.
Yeah.
You do kind of like people have paid a lot.
Yeah. We do plan to see Kiss the Spider-Woman on tour because we don't often get a chance to see that show. And I've heard really good things too. I'm excited about it. I do think Something Rotten will transfer to the West End. After Manchester, I have seen Showboat. Did you see that Showboat revival?
No.
He's just my
I haven't seen Showboat.
An ordinary guy.
I studied it, but I have not watched it.
Magic Dave 2006 says, crikey, you were hungry. Never seen anyone inhale a Mackie D's so quickly. That was slow. I took ages to eat that because I was talking to you all about musicals. If you've actually, I suspect that that's not actually the truth. But if it is, I don't think you've lived if you haven't seen anyone inhale McDonald's that quickly. Certainly you've not been to McDonald's enough. I'm joking. Or am I? Did anyone see Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark? We didn't. Lots of people did. That was before our time. Have you seen a chorus line?
Yes.
Yeah, multiple times. I've seen at least 3 different chorus lines with different choreography at the start. So they don't say step, kick, leap, step, touch again. Any plans to see Once in Pitlochry? We want to. It's hard to get there, but we're working on it. We are working on it. The Professional Women's Hockey League has all their games live streamed on YouTube. There was a lesbian wedding reception at a game last week doing a conga line around the rink.
Wow, that's the...
What have we been talking about for the last hour and a half when we could have been discussing this? Every single word in that sentence gets better.
Hey, Donny Osmond is coming over to do Joseph.
Donny Osmond is coming over to do Joseph. Donny Osmond, that already happened. Donny, as he did the tour.
But is the tour somewhere else? We don't know where is Tyler?
I don't know. Yeah, tell us more about where is Donny Osmond. Expand on this.
Do we think Two Strangers has a good chance? It's hard to tell because a lot of the shows haven't officially
It's
opened
done
yet.
really well to make it this far. They just need to carry on
Yeah.
to the Tonys because I think they are guaranteed a lot of major
The
nominations.
new musicals that are currently opening need to open, and you need to get the critics' reviews and that concept and how
We
they're
learned from
selling.
Lightning Thief nobody is guaranteed a nomination, but I think they will get musical and book and score,
I hope so.
and they might win some of those as well.
But we're going to see all the new stuff soon, so then we'll have a better idea.
Yeah, we can't really comment on the Broadway
No.
season just yet because we haven't seen most of it. Schools go back tomorrow. I can't believe how fast it's come back to the spring and nearly start of summer events. Yeah,
I forgot
it's
about that.
April.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, today was the last day of the holidays for most people in the UK.
You two would love James Partridge's Primary School Bangers live show. I know.
Whose brother is that?
You were just telling me.
Dan Partridge.
Dan Partridge, yes. Dan Partridge currently on tour as Dr. Pomature and Waitress. That's his
And
brother.
Primary School Bangers is going to Edinburgh Fringe.
I love a primary school banger. I'll be honest. What's your favorite primary school song that people would... Do you know who you look like right now at that angle with your hair like that is...
Watch what you're saying.
No, this is... You're going to love this.
Oh.
You're going to specifically like your face and your hair like that. I was going to say you look like Artie Frushan from American
Yeah.
Psycho.
I don't see that, but thank you.
It was the angle that your face was. Anyway, what were we just... Oh, primary school bangers. Autumn days when the grass is jeweled and the silk inside a chestnut shell. That one? No?
Yes.
Jet planes meeting in the air to be refueled. All
Yes,
these things.
no, yeah.
No. So, well, I remember Suze Kempner singing that in an Edinburgh Fringe show. And I was like,
How is it? Getting tickets to the Olivier's, it's not the hardest.
we think they
it's-
got a bit more expensive this year.
Yeah. It's
We fully forgot about it until it started happening. And then we were like, oh, we should get on that.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible.
It depends on the year. It depends on who's eligible. That changes things.
Oh,
Depends
Sean
if it's-
said, wondered why you were quiet.
Yeah.
Hello,
Sean,
Sean.
I haven't looked at my phone. Mickey's been very chatty. We are delayed, Sean, from getting to you.
Just wondering when the Tony nominations are being announced. May, first week of May.
Yeah. All the shows haven't opened yet.
Yeah. Dan John, why the violence? Why the aggression? Calm it down. Hope you had a great night. Thoughts on
Thank
Into the
you.
Woods transferring to the Knoll. Coward.
I'm excited.
I'm happy that Into the Woods is
I'm
being done in
really
London.
excited to see the Noel Coward has enough depth that like the set changes can work. But I'm really intrigued to see how it's been a long time since the Noel Coward had a musical in there that could try and do a longish run. And I'm intrigued to see if it tries. Since Dear Evan Hansen, there's not really been, maybe a Bake Off, but there's not really been a musical that's tried for a long run. So I'm intrigued. But I'm excited it's going there.
There's one message that said we've lost the sound, but then the other messages didn't say the same thing. So I think we are okay.
Well, we didn't know how long ago that could have been.
Very true. Rude.
That was just a fact.
When was All My Sons last on Broadway? Because I think there was a major revival of All My Sons here in London not that long ago. I was kind of surprised that the Evo one was happening because the Old Vic had done it not that many years before. I think we've had 2 All My Sons before the last major one on Broadway, but it's like Death of a Salesman, like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, like Long Day's Journey into Night, like A Doll's House. They all go round and round.
That's what I wanted to hear about Pride. You want to cry that many times.
Oh, that is good news.
That is like if people aren't crying, I'd be concerned.
Would you go see the new Alan Cumming musical, The High Life, from National Theatre Scotland, if it had another run? There's a lot of Pitlochry stuff and Scotland stuff we do want to see this year. So we kind of have to restrict the number of times we went up there for one day. We can't go up constantly. And I never saw The High Life. I think we were both too young. I'm so sorry.
I need to ask this question. My middle school once did a show that was a completely unauthorized mashup of Annie and Oliver. Where was it set?
Great question. Middle of the Atlantic?
No,
Greenland?
But it's very different time periods and circumstances, and
I think they just keep jumping between.
And like, yeah, and like, did how much of Nancy's plot was kept? Because it's only when you rewatch Oliver you realize that like Annie and Oliver go to very different levels of darkness.
But you can bring them into conversation quite easily. Like you can, if you just kept the stuff that's the same.
But it's set in completely different time periods.
Well, yeah.
They're nowhere near
the vision.
I
know how desperate educators and arts educators can be. And this
was it just one of them that then used the music of the other one? Because the more I think about it,
let me explain.
The more
so
I'm like...
I saw a show at the Fringe called Faced Showtime. They do the Shakespeare. One performer gets drunk. They all try and put on a show, and it was Oliver. They can't use the song, so it's not licensed. So instead, Oliver's "I Want" song is "Wouldn't It Be Lovely."
No, this I get. That's not my question.
So
my question here is
some songs from each, and it's a kind of a hybrid plot because that technically evades licensing.
That's my confusion. Is it that one of them and you use the music of the other one because you could? But I don't understand. But like, Oliver is not like Oliver's the one I can't get my head around.
I'm going to move on. If you would get a pet, what musical inspired name would you give it? If we gave a pet a musical inspired name, we would sing it constantly. I would sing it constantly. I the other day thought it'd be cute to get a little dachshund and call him Rolos. That's my contribution to this relationship. Were you
saying it was plural?
No, I think Rolo. That sounded wrong as soon as I said it.
Rolo's absolutely not.
Yeah. There is the streaming soon of Merrily. Yeah. Pretty good project capture. Yeah.
It was good. That is going to Netflix as well, because this is my concern with these pro shots. Is I'm like, please end up in like mainstream stream houses, so people do see it and like boosts up NT.
Would you do a reaction video to the new chess cast recording? Do you know? Are you asking that because you know how I feel about it, or because you don't know how I feel about it? I'm not. To be fair, I like the way some of that score is sung.
I'm very intrigued. We didn't see the Eugenius run at the turbine. I mean, I am intrigued. How much did it change?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, it has come back. When Mickey Jo gets down here, he's going to be so confused. I'm not confused. I'll be honest. At some point, this stopped being about the Oliviers and started being about cats. Will you be reviewing the new Miss Saigon UK tour? I probably only when it comes to London.
I think it's so late now in the tour that it's going to be hard to say.
Yeah. I recently dreamt that Cynthia Erivo starred in an Aida revival at the Gielgud. Was very sad when I woke up. I'm telling you, that's the only way to sell Aida.
She said in interviews that is a role she wants to play. She has actively said it.
I think the rest of the casting would be, you'd have to do it carefully.
Well, I wonder what. So there was a production recently that Disney set up in the Netherlands, and that was meant to be the trial run for a new version of Aida, for like the version that Disney would have then carried on with and built up, a la Hercules, a la Beauty and the Beast, when that revival came here and then has gone all around the world. It did not do well with the changes or anything. It very, very much did not do well. And everything with Aida has slowed down since, which is sad because the score is incredible.
We have a tip
and
here.
I would like to see it.
The score is incredible. I love Aida. It's enough.
And also, it's like it's a good win for Disney if they could land it right. Disney, I think Disney really need a win soon that reminds the theatre industry that they can do really, really good theatre, because I think there's now this conception that Disney can do big commercial theatre that does well, but not like artistic. And this is why they then struggle with all the awards and stuff, because they feel very like they're in the West End and on Broadway, but feel very detached from the communities.
I have a fun Aida fact for you. It's not really a fact, but it is awards related, and you like stuff like this. Because I once read a comment from someone on a message board once saying, do you think Aida could have won the Tony if it was nominated? That sounds like nonsense. But it didn't get that many nominations, but it won so many of its nominations. And the notion was, could it actually have won Best New Musical if it was, like, was it more popular among the voters than the nominators? But yeah, just thought that was interesting. Anyway,
quite possibly.
We have a tip here for Pit Lockery shows. Do a matinee show and have a day out in the town and stay over perhaps in Glasgow or Edinburgh and see shows in the Central Belt. Is that the Central Belt? Central Belt.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
that would make sense.
Yeah. And now we have some suggestions of primary school bangers. Here's my question. AJ291 has said All Things Bright and Beautiful. But what melody do you sing to All Things Bright and Beautiful? All creatures great and small. That's option 1.
I think I know the other one, but
all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wild and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Very 90s. Made them all. Very Children of Eden.
I probably heard it once, but no, not that one.
It's got a really like minor, like the purple-headed mountain.
Yeah.
The river running back. So many of these lyrics just came back to me. The bright bird in the morning that brightens up the sky.
Everybody I've taken over with.
He's got the whole world in his hands. I saw another one as well, which was.
Wait.
Oh, it's just here. From the tiny ant. From the tiny ant.
Oh, I remember that one.
Care for them, it's up to you. Care for them.
Zoe. That's from Zoe.
To you. No one else will care for them. It's up. Let me down. You just had to repeat it.
I was in charge of the projector and the piano.
But you could repeat.
So in those years, I just made make sure everybody else was singing.
It's up. It's up to you. You see what I'm working with here. This is.
We're at different points at this time of night.
My sparkle's being dimmed.
Or
this is the Dan and Phil energy.
I mean, it's that, or you. Yes, it's that, or you're seeing the point where Aaron capitulates.
Aaron's been getting me to watch Dan and Phil recently. And
I never used to watch them that much growing like.
I didn't when I was younger. I didn't watch a lot of YouTubers.
But now I do all the time. And I feel like it's not just because like they came out and then announced they were a couple. But like I think since they've like revealed them in a relationship and done more content where they're just like being themselves, it's kind of like I'm like, oh, actually.
I find them very relatable.
That's like what I'm finding. They're actually a gay couple that I'm like
in their 30s.
And also they're not clubbers, they're not like they're in a unique way of being like on like online and and like navigating. It's big.
What is the best way to budget for a Broadway trip? Is it better to book shows in rush or advance? If there's something you desperately absolutely have to see, it's safer to book in advance. Not everything does rush. Check out bwayrush.com. That's bwayrush.com. Not sponsored.
That's how you can find out who's doing what.
If you get there early enough in the morning, you can pretty much guarantee if they're offering rush tickets that you're going to be able to get one.
And
so there's that.
They're normally good seats, sometimes restricted, but like
I advocate for rush, but also make sure you get enough sleep, because it's not worth it if you're just going to torture yourself. And it's not every show is a 6 o'clock in the morning situation. Some shows are an 8 a.m. situation. Some shows are a 9 a.m. situation. Depends on the day of the week.
Sundays, be careful.
Oh, Sunday's a horrible day to rush because people
The
still
box-
get there early and the box office doesn't open until
Yeah.
midday. Most box offices, other days of the week, we should open at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary, exciting cast member, like big weekend, could be 6 a.m. Donny's son served his Latter-day Saints mission in Scotland. Donny Osmond's, that is. I knew him, spoke with him a few days ago. Supposedly his dad is doing Joseph again next year. Oh, I see. An inside Mormon scoop. I saw Lady Mormons and the High Street the other day. I saw young Mormon women. And
Sorry, I'm just all fascinated by all of that. That's fascinating.
well, it was a big Sonia Friedman Western musical crossover moment because I saw 2 young women with the Book of Mormon approach a man who was eating lunch on a bench by himself, and he moved away to go and sit down on another bench that happened to be alongside a statue of Paddington Bear. And I was like, this should be Sonia Friedman's Christmas card. Is Mormons trying to pitch the Book of Mormon to someone sat next to a Paddington Bear statue? Anyway.
AJ
To the
is
elephant, to the elephant. Stop it. It's taking my mouse. The Into the
that's
Woods run
interesting.
at Noel Coward's is a strictly limited season.
interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Colascola once again had the best speech of the evening. This is a good point. Who had the best speech of the evening? Because Julie Hesmond-Howells really struck me. I like that she advocated for important things. So did Puppet SU.
This was really good.
I like that people use their time.
I think
that
Artie's
way.
and James, like their ones said a lot.
Yeah.
But also you saw like just how personal everything was as well.
I'm
and I
sad
think that
Jessica Swale didn't take more time because she sort of deferred quite quickly to Tom Fletcher.
well, I think the issue they had was there were 4 people and
Yeah.
they still have the same time period. So
it's
I
just
think
that she's been giving such great speeches and carpet responses this entire awards season. Every time she speaks, she
Yeah.
says something brilliant. So I was quite excited to hear what it was going to be for the Oliviers. I'm sure that she'd
when she got
glistened in the press room.
Interesting that it's strictly limited season. I'm kind of surprised in some ways.
I think the Annie Oliver mashup was set up in the Annie orphanage, and the Oliver kids just showed up randomly. I can't really remember too many details beyond that. That's more chaotic than anything else you could have said. That's way wilder than I'd look his face. That's so much wilder.
Just a British dodger, just artful dodger, just appears and does.
You're
consider
right,
yourself.
girls. Food, glorious food.
But it's also famously an all-girls orphanage.
That's why they had to show up. They like crash it. They teach them how to pick a pocket or two.
No, this all sounds really questionable.
Cheerio,
we
but
need
be
to carry
back
on.
soon. Give me one and last bless you.
No,
Be back soon. My sister was in that Annie Oliver show. I was still too young to be in it that year. She might remember more. You're going to have to find out more. We do need more information, I'm afraid. Are you going to the opening night of Beetlejuice? I don't know yet, but I hope to. If given the opportunity, which show would you restage completely deviating from the original a la Oklahoma? That's a really big question. I've had thoughts like this in the past, but I don't know whether I can recall any of them for you right now. I don't know. I'm sure there are shows where I've thought that definitely like needs, because some material is it's easier to do that with, like your Pippins and your Godspells, where it's a bit more abstract to begin with. Oklahoma, I like it because you can take something classic and talk about contemporary societal issues by reskinning it like that, if you like. I was in a student production of Jekyll and Hyde that was trying to be Breaking Bad, and I do wonder whether you could explore contemporary mental health dialogue with that show, but the material is also quite unserious, so challenging. Good question though. I'm going to try and scroll through towards the end to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. I've got Cats booked, the opening night at Regent's Park open air. Can't wait. Enjoy.
Very
Enjoy.
exciting.
Our first night at Regent's Park is always lovely. And in the summer, in July, gosh, lovely.
I do wonder if Les Long is going to do for the New York run of Les Mis.
Good point.
I was just linked to that.
Check our tour dates, I suppose. Last two things I've seen at the Old Vic have been glorious, Arcadia and One Flew. Have you heard any whispers about what is coming next there? Literally no.
Nobody
No
has.
idea. No idea.
Literally nobody has.
No. Any update on the Greatest Showman? No. No. It's doing a lot of changes. Board Gosh. The Board Gosh. Thank you. Have started doing some in-house productions and are doing Oklahoma. Yes, that's right. That's right. Disney got lucky that Menken and Ashman knew theatre so well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, we're blue. Dabu-dee, dabu-da.
I mean, the interesting thing though there is Disney still work with so many people that know theatre well, but it's interesting the Anson Lopez's are working on Coco for the stage, but obviously they just did Frozen for the stage. And it's interesting to and Lynn, it's interesting that they've worked with a lot of these musical theatre composers for animated films, but we haven't seen those newer creators try and work with Disney on stage.
Mm-hmm. I've had no caffeine, believe it or not.
This is just him being tired and being...
I was ready to fall asleep a couple hours ago. This is my second wind.
Yeah, that's what this is. Delirium.
AJ said, Singing in the Rain reinvent would be cool. Singing in the Rain is sort of about the changing state of cinema from silent pictures to the talkies. What about a Singing in the Rain that somehow acknowledged shifts in contemporary cinema? And what if it was about them bringing in the vertical series and Netflix second screen? What if it was a commentary on current cinema? Interesting, potentially. I don't know. Have you heard the US tune for Away in the Manger? Is it the one that goes, away in a manger, no crib for a bird? Because that's also needlessly dark. The bit where it's the cattle are lowing, the baby awakes. Threatening, weirdly threatening. So Tim Rice and Elton John, yeah, they wrote the score for Aida. Does anyone know why the live stream of the Oliviers on YouTube wasn't working for 45 minutes? Could not tell you. Will Stranger Things The First Shadow extend? Uncertain.
I don't know.
Hard to know whether it's had a real boost from the fifth series in the way that Broadway
thing is,
did.
Grosses you see on Broadway, you don't see the grosses here, so it's really difficult to know how it's doing. And also, Stranger Things is one of those shows like Book of Mormon in the UK and Moulin Rouge, technically. They don't announce booking extensions, really. They just extend.
I love this from Grizzly Movie Reviews. Would a Panto Cats work in the UK?
Yes.
Panto Cats.
Yes.
Panto Cats.
Because that's more UK drag culture.
Everyone just giving it Dick Whittington's cat. Wow. I love that. What else do we have here? TKTS has a website that shows their offerings live. That's how I got to see every brilliant thing. Another great tip. Hello, my name is Paddington. I would like to share with you this most amazing marmalade sandwich. I sobbed at James Narty's speech. That one got me too. Yeah. But I cry more if I have met the people and know them a little bit. Which I got emotional for my best friend Rachel Zegler, who I've met 2 times. For me, it was no contest. James Graham, he made it more about the story and the show rather than him. James Graham hates to talk about himself.
That is James Graham. James Graham won the What's on Stage's version of the Lifetime Achievement Award, and basically spent the whole thing being I have not achieved this. I have not done enough yet to receive this award, but I promise to endeavor to achieve it. And so you spent the whole thing being well, you have achieved it. We are all telling you, you have achieved
You're holding
this.
it, it's happened. And then he came to the press room and said the same thing.
Yeah. They're sir, you have had how many successful plays that have actually made big impacts?
2-3 weeks later, he won at the Critics Circle Theatre Awards. He said the same thing. So he will always defer. It's a very British thing to do as well. We don't like to talk about ourselves.
Yeah. But I also love that he did that to be these are these real people's story.
This is not my experience of Mormon missionaries. The missionaries are required to do a number of hours of service work, and helping people do stuff counts. So if they show up at your house and you need help moving stuff or something, just ask. My experience is entirely them standing on British high streets.
But is this in America?
These are the missionaries. These are the Mormon missionaries. My experience is very much just they'd stand on the high street and talk to you about the book. Because next time if I see them, I'm like, actually, I've got a bookcase that needs building. Speaking of books, by the way, you both looked fabulous this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you. This was a labor of love. Doesn't Aaron's hair look nice?
He's saying this because he styled it.
I want him to let me style his hair every day.
I mean, if you want to do that, you're adding the time on to get him ready every day.
I hadn't thought. I want to teach you how to teach a man to fish.
You know that won't work. So let's
teach a man to fish. I'm going to see if Mickey Jo knows this one. This might be a pool that I've read of in books. No, you stumped me.
That I've read of in books is a bit.
This might be a pool that I've read of in books. No, I got nothing. So sorry, AJ, I got nothing on that one. My primary school did a questionably licensed production of Wicked as the Year 6 Leavers show. This is a whole conversation of its own. We did Hamlet the musical. Thoughts on Midnight at the Never Get at the Mini A Choc?
I'm excited.
I'm very intrigued. Yeah.
I feel like it's a thing of we need more to fully, I think, get everybody on board. I think that's the reason why, because a lot of people have been like kind of shocked that it's not sold out yet and it didn't sell out straight away. And I'm like, it's because nobody knows what. Well, one, everybody had already booked tickets to see Ben in the last 5 years, but also we don't really know anything about it, and I think that gets people nervous until it starts doing it.
Yeah,
but I'm very excited. Because how often has Ben played a gay role on stage? Like genuinely, like when has he been in a gay role in a musical on stage?
Never.
Yeah.
Music Soul says, loved watching Olivier's and checking your predictions. We thought Aaron got one more than Mickey. I know that you...
I love that. Let's confirm that.
I am aware of at least one that you said that I did.
But you got one that I didn't get, yeah.
So
then did
I
get two?
Twice. I don't think you said O'Mary for thingy.
I said Jack.
You said Jack Holden. And there was another one.
Who did I fall on for sound?
You did. I don't think you said Kenrex for sound.
I think I went for Paddington in the end. I mentioned Kenrex.
Yeah.
But I think I went to Paddington.
We'll check though. We'll check and we'll find out. The Mormon missionaries do more social media stuff now. Wow. They're getting online. Hello, Isaac.
Hello.
The Paddington creative talking about kindness. That was good. Yeah.
Have we reached the bottom?
Yeah, we have. We've caught up. I know. There was something else I wanted to respond to. Did you manage to get tickets for Leslie Odom Jr. in Hamilton in the summer? Didn't even participate in the ticket rush. Might check some returns
on those days because everybody was doing it and our brains were on. That was why.
I think we were in Bristol. Welcome to the bottom of the chat. Thank you. Yes. My thing with it is very exciting. Obviously very exciting. We have seen Leslie Odom Jr. on stage before, not in Hamilton, but in a play. I'm thrilled. Like, I get the excitement. I don't want to take away from that. I do think it's interesting to see someone with so much more gravity and significance in a role alongside, like going in alongside an ongoing cast. Like, it's one thing to see like a multi-person reunion and another thing to see just one person going back in. Because I feel like that slightly disrupts the power dynamic. But also, is it worth it just to see Leslie Odom Jr.? Probably yes. So, thoughts on Back to the Future closing today? We were not there because we were at the Oliviers. But I think Back to the Future has managed a really impressive run in the West End.
And it's now on cruise ships and the UK tour's happening, which I feel like it's like feels like the right time for.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone out whilst it's still been doing well, so then it can go on tour and it's not like, when it doesn't feel too tired.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I am very thirsty, and I would like to go and get a beverage. And we are approaching the 2-hour mark.
Wow,
which is almost as long as the Olivier's broadcast was itself. So I think we're probably going to wind this down. Thank you everyone for joining. Tomorrow I will put together a little recap. Let's talk Olivier's video where I kind of condensed down. These were the surprises. These are my thoughts. This was best speech, best presenter, thoughts on Nick Mohammed hosting, thoughts for the future. How can the Oliviers improve? Were there any wins that I wasn't thrilled about? All of these things that will come tomorrow with some little vlog interludes that we filmed today. And lots of videos coming this week. My thoughts on Inter Alia, thoughts on A Doll's House, various things. But yeah, all that to look forward to. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. And we will both see you soon. And we hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day from the tiny ant. From the tiny ant. How do I end this? Exactly 2 hours. Nailed it. Amazing.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.